Welcome, friends, to Crazy Women Country, where women's voices matter. We bring you the greatest female voices in the music industry, from the artists, songwriters, and producers, to managers and executives, and all the women who make the music industry what it is today. Thank you for joining us. Welcome, friends, to another episode of Crazy Women Country. Today we have rising UK star, Tara Henton, with us. How are you doing?
Good, thank you. How are you, Donna?
Doing well.
And Paula, of course.
No, it's fine. I'll just sit here and watch.
She's on break today. She's on her timeout. Yeah.
They sit me in the corner. I've just got to sit here and go. So funny. How are you, Tara?
I'm all right, thank you. Yeah.
Fantastic. So, the first question, the best question ever. Who is Tara Henton?
Who am I? Oh my goodness, that's a very broad question for this time of night. Well, I'm a Canadian singer-songwriter. I'm also a music educator, and I also have a dog trying to get in the door.
So we're going to take a time out. This is a Cooper break, if y'all wanted to know.
There are going to be several of these, unfortunately. I couldn't even get the intro done without the dog upstage. So I'm a Canadian musician. I have a background in music education and also songwriting and that side of things. So I sort of juggle both of them. A little bit more on the songwriting side of things now. Before I repressed my songwriting, I think, for quite some time and kind of did the teacher thing. And now I'm sort of finding a bit more equilibrium with it, a bit more balance, which is nice to kind of feel how you can have a bit of flow with it and how the songwriting can actually give you more authenticity in your teaching, and it all kind of, you're being like kind of that role model and that side of things. So, yeah. So, and then on top of all that, I've just started doing work for Nashville Worldwide as a radio DJ as well. So I do that as a little thing on the side on a Tuesday. Another little thing to keep me busy. So.
Why not?
Other than Cooper.
Cooper is a full-time job.
Yeah, well, and a 4-year-old. Yeah, that factors in as well. So, busy, but
like 3 full-time jobs.
Yeah,
and a husband.
Oh, I love that. That's so funny. So funny. Perfect. So I have to ask. Go on, Donna.
Okay, I'll let you go first because we might be asking the same question.
We could be. Probably not. You never know with us two. What is a Canadian doing in England?
Oh, I get that a lot. So, I mean, do you want the short version?
Oh,
So I came over in 2001. I graduated from university in Canada, Queen's, in Kingston, Ontario, and I was just at a point in my life where I didn't really know where I wanted to be, and I don't know if you've ever kind of had that dilemma where it becomes a bit debilitating in terms of making a decision when you're sort of like, well, I don't really want to live there. I don't want to live there. No. And I just kind of thought, oh, well, a couple of my friends had been over, summers over in Europe and specifically in England. And it kind of, gone on about the pubs and this and the other thing. And it just sounded, I don't know. I've always kind of had a romanticized notion of England, I think. I mean, I grew up very strangely for a Canadian watching Monty Python and things like that. So I always, and of course I thought everything over here was like that, right? So, I don't know, just fascinating. Just, small cars and people driving on the wrong side of the road. And I just had this thing in my head where I thought it would be kind of cool just to come over for a year and teach. So that was what I'd originally come over to do. The original plan was to come over and do supply teaching. That didn't work because I got headhunted to be a teacher at a primary school. They were looking for someone with a music background to be their music coordinator. So I ended up in Lowestoft for a year, a little school there. And I mean, it was an interesting year. I enjoyed it, but it was also very stressful. I think anybody who goes into a new career, specifically teaching, your first year is like a baptism of fire at the best of times. Add a very strange language barrier because it's English, but it's not English. Like nobody could understand me and I couldn't understand anybody else I was trying to teach. And just, I think everything that I'd learned in school the history, the geography, the PE, so little of it was relevant. And I don't understand how I pride myself on being quite a smart person, but I had not worked that out, that getting on a plane and coming home to teach in England, they wouldn't be interested in learning about Louis Riel, and like Canadian geography wasn't really going to factor in the lessons. So it was like, I was learning everything about first year teaching, but on top of it, kind of re-educating myself on what the actual content of the curriculum was as well. So I found it quite overwhelming. But I still, I made it through the year. Then I did supply teaching for a couple of years. Got a job at a school. And I still work at that school. I started with them back in 2005, full time. And now I work 1 day a week just as their music teacher. So that's kind of evolved. So long story short, I came over with a short-term plan, which became a medium-term plan, which is now a long-term plan. And that's kind of how it's just progressed over the last 20 years. But
why not?
That's just kind of the way life goes sometimes. And I think everything happens for a reason. So
definitely.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I love it.
So I have to ask, we're going to go back maybe a few years, maybe, 20 years or so, to this thing. I heard of this thing called the Kingston Country Singing Showdown.
Okay.
And there was some person named Avril Lavigne that won. Can you tell us a little bit about that and what happened there?
So yes, I was in university in Kingston. At that point, I think I was still in my music degree. And there was a really good country bar there called the Iron Horse Saloon, which I frequented a lot. Friday, Saturday nights, especially Friday nights for some reason just seemed to be the night to go there. But anyway, they had a lot of bands, and they also had karaoke nights and things like that. But one of the things they did every year was they had this competition, country singing showdown. And I don't know, I don't know why, maybe I hadn't got wind of it before or whatever. But anyway, I decided I was going to enter it this year. So I did the preliminary rounds for it and qualified and made it to the finals. And so that was quite exciting because rather than singing with backing tracks, you actually had a live band that you could sing with. And it was like, back of a trailer down at the fairgrounds and kind of that whole thing going on. And, chatting with all the contestants backstage, there was a 15-year-old girl called Avril who I was chatting with, and she was a lovely girl. And, I remember her getting up and singing, thinking, dang, you're a really good girl, I think if on top of I can't remember both of the songs she did, but one of them she sang was Wide Open Spaces by the Dixie Chicks. She did do a phenomenal job on it. And there is some footage on YouTube somewhere of her singing, not there, but singing like in little coffee shops, like chapters and things like that around Kingston, like when she was a teenager. So you can kind of get a sense of, and she did sing a lot of country. So people wouldn't really associate her with country music, but she quite enjoyed doing Leanne Rhymes and stuff like that. Was quite, kind of in her set list. So, but yeah, obviously I had no idea who she was going to grow up to be. I just have kind of just memories of chatting with this girl backstage and wishing her luck and congratulating her afterwards and saying, well done, I hope you go far. And there she is, So.
She went all the way, didn't she?
Yeah.
She's
so
awesome.
I have no idea. I mean, God knows if she would remember me or not, because, there were a lot of people there, but I remember her. So, yeah. She's from Napanee, which is a little place about 30 minutes down the road from Kingston, where I went to university. So.
I can't imagine Avril Lavigne.
It's not all that exciting of a story, really. It's just a 15-year-old girl saying she won, I didn't. That's it, really.
At least you can say you lost to Avril Lavigne and not to some,
Well, there were two winners. There was Avril Lavigne and there was a lady named Leslie. Oh, I can't think of her last name. She was very good as well. But obviously not, I don't think her career took quite the same trajectory, shall we say. I'd be really interested to know if Avril Lavigne has any recollection of anybody who was in it. It would be quite just interesting
quite fun, actually,
to know what her take is on it. Because don't know. It basically launched her career. I think she'd she'd got up on stage and sang with Shania the year before. I think there was some sort of a contest where if you won, you got to go up on stage and sing with Shania. I might be completely out of that film, but I'm pretty sure. So she'd already kind of had a little, that either came before or after, but it was, so she was already getting quite a bit of exposure and people were noticing how good she was. So,
That's awesome.
Yeah. I just thought that was really a cool tidbit that I found out about you. I was like, oh, that's interesting. Yeah. The things you don't know about people that you learn.
Yes.
Yeah, well, apparently my cousin told me a story that because she's from around like Timmins, Sudbury, around that way. Apparently, she went to the school that her kids go to. Shania Twain went there. I think she went to school with Shania Twain, my cousin. I think that's the story anyway. And I remember her telling the story about. She said her boys were still young. They were still in like elementary school, like primary school, and I guess Shania had popped in the school or whatever, like, to say hi. And I think the kids had gone home, and Rayanne, my cousin, did volunteer work at the school, but she wasn't there that day. And they said, oh, Mum, you'll never believe Shania Twain came to school today. Oh, you shouldn't tell lies, it's not very good to do that, and blah, 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 blah. And then the next day when she showed up at school to volunteer, they're like, oh, you'll never guess who showed up yesterday. Shania Twain was here. And she's like, picked the wrong day to have a dental appointment or wherever she wasn't there, So, I mean, I'd have to verify all that with my cousin, but I just have memories of her telling me this story growing up, and I sort of thought, oh, that's kind of cool.
That's awesome.
That is, for sure.
But missing out on I mean, that just,
Yeah.
That sucks.
There's bad luck, and then there's bad luck, isn't there?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. That is just a nightmare.
So, tell us, who are some of the women, though, that have inspired you to do music? Because obviously you went to school for music, but tell us, like, your inspirations, the women that, have drive you to do what you're doing.
Inspiration. I mean, I had some strange, really bizarre non-country related inspirations, but not inspirations in terms of I want to do that, but just people that I really grabbed. Like, I grew up in the 80s. Madonna was a big thing for me. One of my other cousins, bless her, we got pictures of her somewhere of us trying to dress her up as Madonna when she was like about 4, and she had all the, the bangles on, and we had it all like she was, doing the proper like old school Madonna, you know what I mean? Like, and she had like all the necklaces and the bracelets and everything. So I don't know. Luckily that fashion sense is kind of not stuck with me, but I think like in terms of powerful women and like women who kind of, really kind of put a stamp on things in the music industry. Certainly Madonna was quite important to me growing up younger. I mean, I don't think anybody could grow up in the time frame that we did without her having some kind of an impact on them.
Yeah.
But then I think maybe, later in my teens, I started, 90s country. So people like Martina McBride and Faith Hill and, a lot of really powerhouse female vocalists I found quite inspiring. I think the thing that I found really interesting, though, was when I started digging in more to the songwriting side of it, a lot of the songs that I'd really enjoyed them singing, I actually worked out that it was the songwriting behind it, and then I started kind of idolizing the songwriters rather than necessarily the front people. Yeah. Gretchen Peters, I came into like, kind of discovering her quite late in my life. Like I was already living over here. And I went to a concert. It was Wine, Women and Song was touring, and it was in London. And I actually went because I love Matrace Berg, and I've always loved Susie Bogus. So I was like, and Gretchen Peters, I'm sure she'll be okay, you say that, like, how can I say that, right? And I showed up and I was listening, like, oh my goodness, this is amazing. And then when she started singing through her back catalogue of songs, I realized that I'd been a fan of hers for 20 years, and I just didn't realize it because I hadn't done my homework. I didn't realize that she'd written Independence Day, and now I look back on it, I go, how could I not realize that? But it was just where I was at the time. So and people like Mary Chapin Carpenter, and again Matrace Berg, she's written songs for so many big country names that I and actually even now sometimes she catches me out where I'll look up a song and you look at the songwriter, you go, she wrote that one too, like. I was like, oh, she snuck that one past me. I should have known, So people like that are quite high up on my list of people who I kind of idolize. Yeah, and I think, like I say, my emphasis I think has shifted more from stage presence and that side of things, although that's really important. But I'm really, I'm interested in the nuts and bolts of the songwriting, and it's really nice. It's so wonderful to have so many great female songwriters around, and nowadays like Brandy Clark and Casey Musgraves, and she's a brilliant writer. There's so much talent out there, and lots of inspiration around if you know where to look for it.
And there's definitely a lot more singer-songwriters nowadays than there was, back in the sort of 90s and stuff. I must admit, I was devastated when I first found out that Reba didn't write all her songs. I was like...
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. It seems like there's more transparency now. And also, I think it's not completely unforeseeable to, as a singer-songwriter, put out an album of your material and tour and represent your material, but there's a sideline on that where people can still record that, and it doesn't seem to be a faux pas for that. You know what I mean? It's not. There's no secrecy. Yeah. You think of
Laurie McKenna.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I'm just thinking. There's Tracer Berg, You and Tequila, and Kenny Chesney cut it. So there's lots of. I mean, obviously lots of Gretchen songs.
And that was first recorded by Dina Carter back in 2003 or 4. I can't remember the year there. Right in there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
It's amazing.
Strawberry Wine.
Yep. I'm a big singer-songwriter person too. I love. Yeah.
No, I mean it's kind of like once you take the lid off that tin, then I think I start expecting more. Like, you know what I mean? When I listen to a good song, I don't just go, "That's a great song." Like, "That's a great song. Who wrote it?"
Yeah.
And Google is our friend, right? Like, Google wasn't really a thing 20 years ago, so you didn't really have access to that in quite the same way, which is fantastic because you can do your research and kind of try to work out, the commonality between different songs. You go, "Oh, okay, that's interesting," because that same writer was involved in those. That's really interesting.
For those of you who don't know what it was like before Google, we used to have to call a radio station.
Yeah. And it was always busy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, on a Sunday afternoon with your ghetto blaster and his tape.
Yeah,
there we go. Record.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Because how else would you make your own radio shows if you didn't
exactly
off the radio? So you had some material, right?
Yeah. See.
Yeah. Entertainment. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's my childhood right there.
The good old cassettes, you have to say. They were.
Yes.
And the pencil. It's still sitting now, and they're like, "What is this?" Yeah.
And breaking that little tab off of it so that nobody could record over it. Then you had to get the masking tape out to cover it up so that you can. I want to record over that one now. Sorry, we've lost an awful lot of people in this conversation. What are we talking about?
Yeah, what is this?
Yeah, pretty much anyone born after 1990, I think. Yeah.
Back in the old days, when dinosaurs roamed the earth and tape players were available.
After that thing called an 8-track.
We had an 8-track growing up. We did. I loved the 8-track. It's brilliant.
Okay, I don't know what that is.
Okay.
I'm lost now.
Generational thing now. Yeah.
No. Okay. I won't talk about 45s either then.
Oh, 45 records.
You had those.
Oh, yeah.
The little ones, the small ones. Big ones were 33s, small ones were 45s.
That's it. Yeah. That's it. Yeah.
And I used to have, because some of them lost the inside bit, so you had to have that big round thing that you put in the middle so it still played round circles. Because you used to pop the middle bit out. And you'd lose it. I'm like, damn it.
See, and they thought we didn't know how to have a good time back then.
We did, for sure.
And try to
put it on the wrong speed, and then every album sounded like Alvin and the Chipmunks, right?
You used to do it on purpose. It was like,
and then, but the thing is, I actually had a lot of records that were Alvin and the Chipmunks. So when you put them super fast, it was like supersonic. You couldn't even anymore. It was done. That was it.
Oh, it's wonderful.
But try and stop a record right at the end of a song. You sit there like, wait. So funny. So funny.
Oh. So, are you ready for some fun 20 questions plus one?
Oh, go on then.
This is the best part of the interview. 20 questions plus one. Oh, look.
Cat. That's a cat. Was that question 1? Did I get it right?
That's not question 1.
What is that animal?
Question. What is the first one?
I'm breaking into a cold sweat here, ladies. Okay, go on then.
Oh, these are fine. These are so much fun.
Okay.
It's all right.
My face is telling you that I'm believing you on that, right?
These are where we get to know you as a person rather than you
Getting
as
to
a
know you. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's it. We're going to have to
I'll
record
do
that
the
and be
best
like
I
our
can.
little session, play it every time. And
Yeah. Everybody loves these questions, though. Everybody. They're all nervous before, and they're like, we had so much fun. So, so good. Okay. Early bird or night owl?
Night owl.
If you could be a member of any sitcom family, what family would you be a member of?
Sitcom family.
Or any TV family?
It's not really a family, but friends. Friends would be cool. I'd like to be somewhere in that apartment block. That would be cool.
That'd be very cool. Okay, if we had a look through your iPod or your phone or computer, what would be your guilty pleasure music?
Oh, probably Walker Hayes. I do like a bit of Walker Hayes. Bit of fancy, like, ooh.
Yeah, it's everywhere. The
It is
dance,
everywhere. I must admit, it does factor into my playlist quite regularly, and my daughter knows all the words to it, which is quite embarrassing when she gets to the Victoria's Secret bit. Anyway.
You have to teach her the dance, and you can put it on TikTok.
yeah,
I'll work on it.
I think Applebee's has doubled in their visitation people, though. I'm just saying. Where did all these people come from?
Yeah, all because of one song. It's great, isn't it?
It was awesome.
So there you go. There's my guilty pleasure.
Guilty pleasure. Okay, what is the weirdest, sweetest, or kindest thing a fan has ever done for you?
Oh, goodness me. I don't know. I haven't got that many fans. See, the thing is, okay, can I just kind of put a little bit of a caveat on this? I started kind of doing this whole thing during a pandemic. So, I mean, they clapped for me on Zoom. Does that count? Yeah! I don't know. Ask me that again next time we chat, and I'll see if I can have something a bit juicier for you for that. But yeah, I feel really boring with that. I don't know.
If not, you can make something of it. Be fun.
Okay, yeah. I'll think on it. I don't want to fabricate.
Okay, boots or heels?
Oh, boots. No, every day, and twice on Sunday. I do not do heels. Hate them.
Makes two of us. A favorite drink?
What, alcoholic or no?
Both. Anything?
Both.
Quite like Pimm's in the summer.
That's very.
I mean, as a daily thing, I must admit, it's kind of coffee in the morning, tea in the afternoon. There's generally caffeine going on at some point in my life.
I love the Pimm's. Pimm's are
yeah, well, I only discovered it when I moved over here. It's good stuff. It's nice. I like it.
It's cool. What's your favourite holiday?
Favorite
holiday? What,
that I've been on or that I'd like to go on?
It's whatever your interpretation is of the question.
Oh, okay, see, I'm asking too much here, aren't I? The favourite holiday I've ever been on, probably Florida. My dad and my stepmom used to spend winters down there, and we had it isn't like one because there were several, but just generally Florida was lovely. Yeah, I think probably one of the first ones when I went where we actually did the Disney thing, and it was the first time I'd ever done the Disney thing, so it was quite exciting for me. Yeah,
Disney World. Being
in my 20s and kind of pretending I wasn't. As you do.
Everyone does that here. Everyone does that here. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm way more excited about seeing a person dressed up as a mouse than I have any right to be.
Everybody's the same. It doesn't matter whether you're a 2-year-old or
the difference is when you're little, you don't know that they're not real, right?
They are real. What are you talking about?
Oh, I'm sorry.
How could you say it? They are real.
Okay, they are. Yeah.
They are real. They're real people.
Yeah. Don't listen to her, Tigger. Don't listen.
Okay, I said okay. I can't hear you. Okay. Yeah.
She's gone mad.
Okay, so yes, there you go. Florida. That's my answer. Florida. Final answer.
You sure you don't want to phone a friend?
No, not yet.
Okay.
I got the phone ready, just in case the questions get hard.
What's your favourite animal?
Cooper.
Cooper's now an animal. I love that. Cooper.
He's a dog. He's an animal.
Yeah, no, but everybody's going to be thinking, what sort of animal is a Cooper?
Yeah.
A cockapoo. There you go.
A cockapoo.
A sleeping cockapoo, the best kind. And he's currently not trying to climb all over me.
Oh, he's gorgeous. Okay, if you could add someone to Mount Rushmore, who would it be and why?
Oh, goodness me. Okay, who? I don't know, because I'm not big on American politics. Who should we?
It can be. Stay away from politics. Anybody.
Okay, it can be anybody.
For instance, I'm gonna add Dolly Parton. Paula's gonna add Reba McEntire. So yeah.
Okay.
Tell us who.
Merle Haggard. There you go.
Okay.
Perfect. There you go.
Okay.
Merle Haggard. That rocks.
Right up next to Dolly Parton. That'd be quite good.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
We don't do politics. We don't do politics.
Yeah.
Like I was because I'm sitting there thinking, well, they've already got a few of them up there. I don't know who else to put up there because I don't like it.
I love it. What was your first concert you ever went to?
Chicago. It was
Awesome.
1980. I want to say 88. I think I might be off a year or so on either side. I was in grade 8 in school, I think. And I remember my high school music teacher, Mr. McIsaac, if you're watching this, you're getting a shout out. He went to the concert. It was at the Winnipeg Arena. And we were like up in the gods, my cousin and me and my mum. And we spotted him down on the floor. My cousin and I yelled, Mr. McIsaac! And he heard us. And he turned around and he was just absolutely mortified because he was standing in the middle of the Winnipeg Arena with these 13-year-old kids screaming at him from up in the rafters. Yeah. But anyway, it was their Chicago 19 tour. If that, I'll have to Google the year on it, but it was somewhere around there. But it was, unfortunately, Peter Cetera wasn't with them anymore, but it was still a really good concert, and I do love Jason Chef, so yeah, it's all good. It was brilliant.
Wonderful.
That's awesome. I love Chicago.
It is. I'd love to go to a concert like that. Like, yeah. I need to get out more. This whole COVID thing,
Yeah, I need to get out.
Yeah, this whole being stuck at home now. But, yeah.
It is. So tell us your favorite song today.
My favorite song. Oh, I have so many. It's just really, really hard shout. I think my favorite one at the minute, just literally only discovered it a couple of days ago, is Ashley McBryde and Carly Pearce, their duet, and I can't think of the name of it, but it's such a good song.
It's just come out recently, hasn't it?
To be that girl.
I played it on my radio show today, but it's such a good song. So I think that's going to probably, start coming into my playlist quite a lot because it's so good. Awesome. Good song. But I have far too many favorite songs too. Like you guys will be here till Christmas if I start rattling off my favorite songs to you. And it depends on which.
Okay, well, I'm gonna have a dinner break. I'll be back in a little
breakfast. For me, it's very much like what mood I'm in. Yeah, what playlist.
Yeah.
I'm on, I find that's a really, really hard question.
Yeah. Well, that's why I asked for today.
For today,
the
one I told you. There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
You asked me to be completely different.
I'm sorry, did you have a question, Tigger? No? Okay. What would be a good theme song for your life?
Absolutely.
I don't think she heard the question.
Oh, what would be a good theme song for your life?
Oh, wow. This is hard. Theme song for my life.
They're not all hard, I promise.
I think, getting a little bit kind of serious for a minute, probably Bless the Broken Road, Rascal Flatts. And I know that obviously they didn't write it, but just that song, because my husband and I are really happy together. It's, this is our second marriage together. So I think, when I was saying to you before, I think everything happens for a reason. Like I really do think where I am in my life right now, is like, it's everything's kind of come together. So, I'm gonna get all emotional now, Anya.
Okay, well then we'll switch it up. We'll talk about, if you could give our audience and everyone watching some really good recommendations for music.
Recommendations.
Yeah, whether it's artists that they need to listen to before they die, maybe an album that you have to listen to.
Listen to Gretchen Peters' entire back catalog if you haven't. I mean, that woman just, dang, she can write. I've never come across anything that she's written where I haven't just been absolutely awestruck. I think that's probably if I had to pick one artist to just like, you know, listen to her so she can give you an education on how to write a song. You know,
awesome.
I think she'd be top of my list.
That's a great choice. I've always loved her too. So what's the best thing since sliced bread?
Best thing since sliced bread? Toaster. Otherwise, what would you do then?
Great answer. We got sliced bread, then we got the toaster sauce.
That's it. Yeah.
If you could talk to anyone, alive or dead, who would it be, and what would you want to talk about?
Anyone alive or dead? Oh goodness. I'm sorry. Oh, you have to put on like do 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 do. It's a music for this one. My mum.
Aww.
I'd like to sit down, have a cup of tea with her, and see what's going on.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Totally understand that one. Yeah. Hi, Tigger. Yes, we heard you. Tigger said yes, she wants to do that too.
Oh, excellent. You can come along.
It's a dinner party.
So, obviously, if you weren't doing music and teaching,
yeah,
because we know you do that as well, what would you be doing?
If I would have zigged instead of zagged when I was younger, I mean, I did have my parents went through a divorce when I was about 10. So I don't know I always wanted to be a teacher. And then when that happened, I was like, I want to be a lawyer, you know, because it seemed like kind of the thing to do at the time. So I don't know, maybe if my life would have gone a different way, maybe I would have gone into something like that. I don't know how long I would have sticked at it though. I don't think I would have found it. Well, I don't think it would have been right, but I think that's probably what I would have attempted.
You know what? I can imagine you in an American law, you know, courtroom, arguing your point. I think you'd be awesome at it. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I don't know. I don't know if I have the right personality for it, but I don't know. I think what it is, you know, your role models are what you see growing up, and that was what was going on in my life. So I just thought, you know, well, that would be kind of exciting. Yeah. I did a placement when I was in high school at the Crown Attorney's office. Again, kind of thinking maybe this would be... first time they drug me in to see an autopsy, that put the end to that right there.
I can't believe that.
I was just like, I mean, I was in high school and this body was being chopped. I was just like, no, this isn't for me. I mean, I was peaking. I couldn't eat meat for about a week. Like, it was just like... Yeah, it was not.
That also dissuades you from becoming a doctor or anything else, right?
Oh, there was never any doubt that I was never going to do anything like that because it's just not my bag. Yeah, definitely not. But yeah, so, gruesome. Not a good thing.
If you could be a Disney character, what character would you be?
Oh. See, I find this hard because like all the princess. I mean, I don't like. I am hashtag. I am not a princess. Like I am not. I've never been a girly girl. I've always been a real tomboy, and I don't know. Any Disney character. Who would I be?
We've had all sorts of answers, haven't we? We've had one.
It would have to be somebody. Yeah, like not girly girl. I mean. Oh, it's not Disney, is it? It's Pixar. I was going to say...
it's part of Disney.
What's her name? Well, Wreck-It Ralph, the little driver girl.
Oh, yes!
Vanellope. You know, because she's like, you know, pretty bad ASS, isn't she? You know, like she's, you know, she's kind of... So maybe, something like that. Maybe something like that. Because she's definitely doesn't kind of give into the whole princess thing, really. No. She, you know, she's kind of the princess without being a princess, so...
The glitch.
Maybe there's something there.
She does try to be a princess, doesn't she, in the second film, but doesn't quite pull it off.
Yeah, not quite. Yeah.
Quite.
Yeah. And then she breaks into her big slaughter race song, which is brilliant.
Yeah, totally. I love that. Yeah.
Such a good song. There we go. There you go. I will be Vanellope, much to my daughter's chagrin, because I'm sure she thinks that she's Vanellope. But we'll duke it out. I was like, no, Mummy is.
That's a fight for another day.
That's absolutely, yeah. She's in bed now, so that's fine.
You can whimper now.
You can be her when she's in bed. Got it. Good. Yeah, we understand.
It's a shift thing. You know. Take turns. Absolutely.
What is your favorite flavor of ice cream?
Mint chocolate chip. Finally, an easy one. I've been waiting for an easy question all the way along. Easy.
Oh, okay, well, what's your favorite snack? Your go-to snack right now?
Oh, my favorite snack. Anything involving cheese. I mean, I just crackers and cheese. I mean, it sounds really boring, but like crackers and cheese, yeah.
That's awesome.
Mix it up a bit with different types of cheeses if you need to have that little
Different
je ne sais
crackers.
quoi, you know, but like kind of
Little
like a
sharp
Ritz
cheddar.
cracker with a bit of sharp cheddar on it, and like some sliced apple just to kind of give it that, you know, sweet savory thing going on. That's me done up right there.
Perfect. Sounds good. So, I probably know the
Making me
answer to
hungry.
this,
Go
but
on.
yes, you are making me hungry. I'm like,
Yeah.
Let's move on to that question now before you know.
Go on.
but yeah, we should talk about this last question first. So, hypothetically, if I came to you and said I need to hide a dead body, do you know a good place?
No, I
Okay.
really don't.
And you're like, don't show me. I got that.
Haven't put that much thought into it before, if I'm being really honest. Yeah, I don't know. Dead body. Lake Meadows, I don't know. Park next to me, but I mean, they dredge it up in the lake. It's not that deep, so it's probably not the best place, really. Yeah. Yeah, you better ask Walter about that. I'm not sure.
I love it. That's very, very cool.
Okay, so we have this is the $1 million question, just so you know.
Oh, okay.
Now you better watch your answer here because this could be, you know, major.
Could go either way. Okay. I feel the pressure now, ladies. I feel the
Yes.
pressure.
Good. Who is your favourite CWC host?
Oh. The cat.
See, Tigger again.
Congratulations, Tigger.
I think Tigger's going to win season 1 as, you know, host of the year.
Yes. I'm pretty sure she has. So we have to start going through all of these videos and pulling up Tigger. Yeah, we're just gonna have a roll that says who's the winner, and yeah.
Tigger.
I think the odd dog got a vote in every now and then, but it was mainly Tigger, the cat.
Yeah.
I don't think the dog's going to be too impressed that a cat outdone them, but you know.
Yeah, but he's sleeping, so that's fine.
That's so funny. So funny. So tell us, what have you got planned for the rest of 2021?
To be honest with you, at the moment, I'm concentrating a lot on writing. September, I joined the Songwriting Academy over here in the UK. So, yeah, I've been doing a lot of writing, a lot of co-writing. I got a lot of songs that are kind of done, half done, semi-done, need a rewrite. So I think what I need to do is just focus a lot on getting them through the process, you know, and then trying to find homes for them, you know, be it whether it's something for me as an artist or whether it's a matter of trying to pitch things. And the nice thing about being in the Songwriting Academy is, you know, kind of developing some connections where before I had no concept of how to pitch anything, and now all of a sudden it's kind of like, you know, somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody kind of knows somebody who might actually be interested in that song. So I'm interested to pursue some of that and see what becomes of it. I find that quite exciting that you know, other people could actually be maybe recording some of my things, not just me. So it's like next level, you know. It's taken me 30 years to work up the courage to release material, and now I'm like, hey, but maybe someone else wants some of it out there as well while we're giving. So,
why not?
Yeah. So I'm quite excited what the rest of the year and you know, the year going into, you know, next September, because I've got a whole, you know, like basically I started in September, so I've got a lot left. Somewhere mixed in there is going to be another single coming out, but I think I'm going to hold off till the new year. I don't want to get a single mixed up in the whole Christmas thing that isn't a Christmas song. It just doesn't make sense to me. So I'm kind of just going to go wait, you know, bide my time, wait for the new year, and then get single, and then I think probably build up to an EP.
Awesome.
But just, you know, more of like an accumulative, you know, the singles, and then a couple of other songs on it, and kind of have that as a put a lid on that collection of work, and then start thinking about something else.
Next time.
As you do.
Yeah. Awesome.
Wonderful.
Yes. Sounds amazing.
I look forward to the new music always.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, we've got some cool stuff. I'm really excited about some of the co-writes that I've done. I mean, Celine Ellis, her and I did a co-write the other week, and it turned out really well. She seems to think I sound better singing it. I think she sounds better playing it. So we'll see. It might end up being both of us on the track. We'll see what happens. So, yeah, and I did quite a bit of writing with Ben Selleck. Pardon me. Kelly Williams, her and I write together quite a bit. And I'm super excited to hear what comes out of that girl, because she's just got so many, like her album's out next week. I can't wait for it to be out there.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think that's the thing that excites me the most about it. It's not just writing on your own. It's what, if you sit down on your own to write, you don't know what you're going to end up with. But if you sit down with other people to write, there's no telling what you're going to come up with, because you don't even own the headspace that's going on in 66% of what's going on in the, you know what I mean? Like, you just, I don't know what's going on in your head. It's just amazing how some little idea that you think is going to go one way just completely, becomes something else, and becomes something really amazing that you couldn't have done on your own. And that's magic. Like, I had no idea what I was missing out on before by not doing co-writing. I'm so converted to co-writing. I love it. Absolutely love it.
It's awesome. Perfect. It's fun. So yeah, we look forward to that new music. Awesome.
I'll
Thank
see
you
what
so
I can
much
come
for
up with
joining
for
us.
you. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me, guys.
It's been our pleasure.
And I'm going to go get myself some therapy to kind of calm down from all the interrogation questions.
Interrogation. It sounds awful.
Oh, come on. They weren't that bad.
It was at gunpoint, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, they weren't that bad. It's just me not really having any idea how to answer any of them, but the questions themselves were fine.
That's fine.
Anyway, thank you so much, guys. It's been really
No
lovely.
worries.
And
Thank you very much
friends, for joining us for another episode. Have a great day.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
If you enjoyed today's episode of Crazy Women Country, don't forget to give us a thumbs up. Be sure to click the subscribe button for new interviews weekly. And thank you, friends, for joining us today on Crazy Women Country, where women's voices matter.